Frayed cables and leaky tubes hang from the ceiling of a rundown lab. A woman with frizzy, fiery hair sits hunched over a desk. She wipes a thick bead of sweat from her brow. Her labored breathing is masked by the turning of gears on the device she's working on. A look of worry covers her face as the machine grinds violently. It sputters and exhaust shoots out of the cooling vents at its sides. After screeching for a worrying amount of time, the grinding turns to a smooth slide, followed by a satisfying clicking. The opening at the end of the machine lights up with a brilliant shifting color. The woman's eyes go wide as the color is cast across her face. They dance in the reflection of her eyes as a grin makes its way onto her lips. She stands and drags a stool in front of the machine, in line with the beam of light. She closes her eyes and takes a deep breath, then looks into the light and begins to speak. Hello and welcome back to Wanderful, a somewhat D&D podcast. I'm your lovely DM, Tyler, and I'm joined by my three good boys, Kyle, Matt, and Jeremy. Say hello, my three good boys, Kyle, Matt, and Jeremy.
Hi.
Hello. Oh, God.
It's always one of you. I've always tried to say just hi, hello. How are you guys?
Look, let's be honest. It's always Jeremy.
It is always. I didn't want to say it. I was wondering if he would do the is it me? I was going to be like, it's not Matt.
I don't know if you can prove that. I don't think there's good documentation of this.
Listen, tensions are high.
A few episodes.
No.
Tensions are high between J3B. If you listen to last week, or if you listen to the last episode, you know why.
We're fighting.
We had a big fight. It was ugly. Mm-hmm. It was hard. If I might release clips from the VOD because me and Matt were hands in face.
Yes,
I don't know what is happening right now.
I can't tell you how many times since we've recorded the last episode that I've told DeChelli and other people, I forgot that I'm also on the podcast. It was so good that I just forgot to speak.
So me and Kyle are really getting method with it. He sent poop to my house, and I drove all the way there to TP it.
Jeremy has been mailing me death threats for years.
That sounds like a gift. That's like free compost.
Okay, first of all,
he does the weird clip out he does the weird clip out the newspaper clippings and writes the things I don't know it's him. But he at the bottom signs it in perfect calligraphy from Jeremy.
Oh wow. I love that.
And I always put the return address because I don't want it to get lost in the system.
You should see this man's penmanship. It has gotten good. Dr. Signature who?
So we left off with President Barnabas Quincy III essentially calling an end to the committee for the day or for the week, since Alandi essentially, riled up Bon enough that Bon stormed out and Carveth followed him. And we are actually going to jump right in with Bon. You have stormed out of the conference room and you make your way straight out of town hall. I assume in your head you're probably just heading back to your sewer home.
Oh, when you say it like that, it sounds like he's in some hard times. He's choosing to live in a home It's a home he built adjacent to the sewers. It's not like you open a manhole and there's just poop right at the bottom of the ladder.
You said it.
No, but
aren't you in the manhole?
Yes, but like that doesn't mean like
so
I'm
you're
like
in the sewers. You're not in the sewage.
Yes.
But what I said is
no. Fair enough. It's just the way you said it. Just
tensions
had an
are high.
Well, it's like Batman. He's got a mansion, but he chooses.
I think he's like, I think if it's like directly
a cave though, not a poop dungeon.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably a lot of bat poop in there.
Don't you get me riled up on fucking Batman. He paid to have that cave carved out, special, nice, real good, removed all the guano, probably sold it to some makeup company to make more billions. That fuckhead. I can't stand Batman. Anyway, here's my riff on that.
Well, okay, so you are making your way out of town square, and Carveth is running up behind you and tries to catch up to you.
Yeah. I think he wouldn't have to catch up far. I think I was pacing for a bit, waiting for him. Like, probably just fuming, like just really just mad, just like not crying at, like not crying angry anymore, but just like this, like disbelief.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he's just kind of sees you and he's like, I mean, what the fuck?
Look, I know.
I
know. Look, I have an idea. I know you're upset right now, but all I want to do is help, and I think this could be really good for you. I need you to come back to my place for just for a little bit. It'll only take a second. It'll let you get some steam out. Let's
whatever.
Let's
get me far away from here.
Yeah,
because I am out here waiting for him to show his face.
Yeah, I think Carveth just gives Bon a quick hug and after the hug, after the embrace, just holds your hand and just we walk. And we kind of...
Yeah, I think in that moment, that kind of melts the tension for him. He's just like, I gotta...
It takes you out of the height of your...
Yeah, it's like, he's still pissed, but things are bigger than our fucking weird brother beef now. Yeah. And like, he's also still... he's more angry because of... Like, continue the scene. I want to play it out. I feel like this is going somewhere.
So, I guess we'll just get back to the apartment, if that's cool. Bon, I know how you are, and I know that you'll just keep eating away at these emotions until it consumes you completely. And what we need to do right now, we need to... Here, just look. Come over here, and I'll kind of get you to, like, square off with me in the center of my apartment. And, just come at me. Just fight me. Come on, right now. And I'll like kind of like put up some like hand like motion, like some hand like stance.
Like your monk training shit.
Yeah. Just come on. Get that out. Just look. Let's be honest. You're not really going to like hurt me. I'm really fucking strong, but just,
man, I you know what? I agree. I hate Bon also. I'm just going to join the group. Bon's a fucking pussy.
Bon, knock him the fuck out. Knock him the fuck out.
Attack me.
I fucking square off and try to fucking punch him in his face.
Okay. So I wanna role play this out. So
okay.
I guess would that be just like an unarmed strike?
Well, I guess.
Yeah.
Bon, roll a unarmed strike attack roll.
Oh boy, hold on, I'm a bad game.
I wish you would roll a nat 20 right now. Yeah. That would be hilarious.
Give me 1 second. I didn't have my character sheet up.
You're okay.
Now,
this is the first dice roll that's happened in Wanderful proper in a while.
I'm not joking. I didn't touch the dice until right now. I was pulling on my character sheet. You can hear me typing on my shit. I just looked at my dice. It's a natural 20.
Oh my god!
I ruined my brother's face.
Knock him the fuck out. God. Break his nose.
All right. What were you trying to do?
Matt?
Matt.
Yeah. So unbeknownst
because he
to
punches
him,
you.
Yeah. Okay. So
it's just 4 damage plus 0.
So
Carveth dies. He was just
essentially.
dying.
I want to go through a series of like Tai Chi motions with him. So like as he like goes to punch me,
he punches you in the face.
I think it's too hard even for Bond because
the first time he punches you in the face, dealing 8 damage.
Oh fuck! Okay,
because he rolled a nat 20.
Yes.
I don't know what you went.
And he fucking he jumps back. I'm sorry.
Look, okay,
he's holding his hand.
Look, I'm a little flustered as well. I don't really know how to process what the fuck just happened. I want to do some like light training with you so you can get some energy out.
Hold on, can we just say for the next week he has a black eye?
Maybe start with that and don't start with just hit me.
Look,
for the next week, Carveth is wearing one of those like weird bandages over his nose.
Yes, I actually love that. That's really cute.
So fucking.
That's
funny.
really cute. I'm not gonna lie.
I can't believe this shit. But I think after he says that, I think no problem. He's definitely down to like sort of take.
So as we go to like spar, like I'll like kind of like lightly like tap you, and like as we go through these motions, you realize that I'm actually trying to like train you a little bit.
Okay.
So I'm trying to give you like tips here and there, and like you might go for like a jab, and I might like grab it and like twist it around.
Mm-hmm.
So like we're kind of going back and forth for a little bit, and as we're kind of doing this back and forth, so now that we're kind of getting a little loose here, I'm
gonna be honest with you. This is a lot.
Yeah.
You've successfully calmed me down.
Mm-hmm.
I am quite winded. I am a frail wind man. This is a lot, and my hand still hurts from. Again, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. God, I wish you were alive.
Look, it's not the first time that I've been punched in the face. Honestly, it's not even the first time that you've. That's not even the first time that you've like actually hurt me. Honestly, that one time that you like ate that nut and like fucking exploded both of us, and I almost died. Like that was pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
The church sneezes,
and I think in this moment, like his like flustered frustration and tiredness kind of turns into a bit of sadness, and he looks up at you with like tears in his eyes. We're not gonna see bees. We're not gonna see. We're not gonna see any of them, and he doesn't care.
I think he cares in his own way. I think he's trying to make the best out of the situation. Look, I understand you. I side with you. I want to get the back. I'm just trying to keep everything together. For once in my life, I want to be there for you guys. I want to be there for you, Bon, and I want to be there for Alandi. You guys have done so much for me. You've been there for me every step of the way. And all that I'm asking is that you let me be here for you in your time of need. And Bon, I will make this promise to you. I will get us back home. We will see bees again. We will see Garrett again.
Thank you.
Anytime. And I'll go in for another hug.
Can I?
Yes.
Listen. I have. While this was very therapeutic and very much needed. There's a pressing matter that I have to attend to. Later tonight, I will meet you at the barn, but it's fine. Sorry, I just Can you show me some more of those stances? I think let's grab some water or something and
yeah. Here, and I'll give him like a glass of like water, but I'll also like knock over like a couple of things of like alcohol, just to, like kind of brush it away so you can't see it. Here, and
what was all that glass?
Oh, it's nothing. There's a
lot of shattering. Just cry for help.
It's nothing. I accidentally knocked over some plants. It's fine. Yeah, we could go through, and I'll continue to kind of guide Bond through some forms and kind of just do some light sparring.
I think unless you had some more roleplay stuff you want, I think he would leave you.
Yeah, I think he would just I'll meet you tonight.
Yes, at the barn, like
and
a few hours before close.
Yeah, I mean they don't really close anymore. I'm usually there helping out with oh god, I can't remember her name. Finn.
Yeah, I think they don't really like.
Yeah, can I actually get a clarification?
I think they kind of stay open a lot more.
Did they not close, or does he not leave? Because those aren't the same thing necessarily.
I think it's more like
things have like become a little more fluid, in that like you guys are welcome to go like whenever. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's not that it's open for business 24/7, but like your group has kind of like free reign of the place.
It's base of operation, bro.
I'm just imagining
you wouldn't know. Yeah. You're not there. You wouldn't know at all.
But yeah, as he's
come
leaving,
around, bitch.
Shut the fuck up, Jeremy.
As he's like leaving, like around like just as sun's setting, he kind of grasps your hand in his and like looks longing, and you feel paper between your two hands. Read this when I leave.
Okay. I read it.
I hope you just read it right there. What the fuck?
No, like as soon as you leave, I'll read it.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like I read it right now.
He's like, I hope you understand what. I'm not explaining my art, so don't ask me about this later. And he just leaves.
Okay. I read it.
And,
what's it say?
On the note, you see written in like this really, really pretty script. Frigid break of day, a wilting flower falls whilst watching the stars.
So, Bon, you leave Carveth's apartment, or all of your apartment that only Carveth lives in at this point. Where are you headed?
I would like, as I'm making my way. No, as
we're going to be jumping around.
Yeah, as I'm making my way to my sewer home, I am specifically looking for the event space where they do their like announcements once they've come to a consensus of stuff. What does it look?
So they had if this is what you mean, they had been setting up a stage in town square for those like big press conferences that they kind of are turning into like parties. Like they're every now and then there's like a DJ or a band up there, like that kind of thing. I think that they are trying to do a lot of like surface level attempts at like bringing happiness to the people. Like,
how would you describe
like putting movies on out
like
there?
A pizza party.
How would you describe this park setup? Is there like statues that they like try to like fixate around? So like it feels like
I think we've got basically so they're in town square. There's the big statue of Barnabas in the middle. There's like town hall. There's a courtroom, whatever you want to call that. What do you? There's like a jailhouse.
No, I
don't really think
it's
there's like a jailhouse per se.
I know what you mean, but it's like how like
on the other side, I think there's like
the
a
Capitol building and
area.
shit like that for like certain places.
I think there's like just like a big like grassy area it's actually probably turf, but a big area where they set up.
Shut up. That's for us. You don't say anything.
I think there's a big grassy area where they set up the stage, or they set up like the big projector screen and stuff like that when they want to do events.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think he's like strolling through the park, and he keeps like a little journal with him, and he is making notes of like what he would surmise as like Barney's big ta-da for like, isn't this park grand? So like specific statues of him, specific sort of like areas, like if there's any sort of porta potty or public bathroom space, any of that, he's just taking note of all of those things. And he has,
I think they have like one of those like bathroom buildings.
Yeah.
It's a little nicer.
And he has a piece of chalk, and he is marking little white X's on specific ones as he's taking these little notes, heading back towards his thing, because he is going to come back later to do a little. He's gonna do a little prankage, a little like messaging / like public display of like art.
Pranking.
Gotcha.
A little pranky.
So you
pranking with a message.
You take notes of a couple of the more significant landmarks in the area.
Did they, like amongst doing Barnabas, that, did I notice any like groundskeepers sort of like tent, or like a place where like they would have like those shitty robot guards like patrolling?
Not particularly. They are all around. Like the place isn't flooded by them. I don't mean to insinuate that, but like 9 times out of 10, you will be able to find one in your vicinity somewhere.
Well, how about this? As I'm taking my stroll, am I noticing that they're kind of just patrolling the grounds? Do they have like a hub that I'm noticing that they're coming from in this area?
I think that you would have in your time here, because at this point it's been a few months. I think you would have, all of you probably would have noticed that the robots' like base of operations is there's a building in that town square area where there's like City Hall, there's the courtroom, all that. I think there's another building off to the side, kind of out of the way of City Hall, but like or kind of out of the way of Town Square, but it's like just off the corner. There's another building that from what you've been able to surmise, I don't know if any of you, maybe Alandi, I don't know that any of you have been in.
Right.
But you've been able to surmise that they are
congregating at that building.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think he would venture that far from that park area. I think he would just make note of the distance, like vis-a-vis the points he's made, and just be like about roughly how far would you say that building is from the park proper? Like if
I would say, so if we were to look at it let's say Town Square
guys.
you're good. Let's say Town Square is a city block. It's on the opposite corner of the city block, so it's a good few hundred feet out of the way, but it like you can see it from the park.
Yeah. Okay, good. That's fine. Yeah. I think he makes these notes, and he's setting up, and he ventures back to his sewer home where he is now going to finish. I can't stop calling it the sewer home now. It's just, that's what it's going to be, because I was so
sewer
funny.
Home is what I have written in my notes.
and he is now putting the finishing, like actual, like detailed touches into the suit. Like getting it done.
Care to? No, we'll come back.
Yes,
around.
We will come back around indeed, because I don't think he's the right.
In like
I don't think.
15
Let's just
minutes.
put it as this. I don't think Bon is the correct person to explain what's going on here.
Fair. We're gonna come back around in a few minutes. Carveth.
Yes.
You. So Matt, you and I talked beforehand about some of. All of us kind of talked about plans. Carveth, you wanted to also potentially talk to, or attempt to talk to, Alandi about what had gone on at this committee.
Yes.
I think that after your whole interaction with Bon, so you're planning on meeting him later at the barn, and I think that in this time while you're waiting, you think this is a good opportunity to go talk to Alandi. You would assume that he's probably back at his garage because it's nighttime has fallen and all that, and you make your way over there, and you knock on the door, and And Rankin actually opens up the door. One of Alandi's 3 little henchmen, his posse, whatever you want to call him. He's the leader of the 3.
Okay, not the trigger happy one.
No, that's Scrawn.
Okay, Scrawn. Gotcha. That's my favorite.
Rankin opens up the door. Did I give physical descriptions of them? I don't think I did, so. Just because I'm bad at remembering to do that. All of them, I picture all 3 of them having curly hair. I picture Rankin as having kind of a bright orange curly hair and freckles. They're all short for their age, like I mentioned. I know I mentioned that. But Rankin opens the door and he says, Carveth, what's up?
Hey, Rankin, I am looking for Elandi. Is he around?
He's actually not. He hasn't come back in.
Oh, okay.
Can I take a message? That's a weird thing to say, but
I mean, I kind of need to talk to him pretty quickly. So, I think I guess maybe he might be back at the council place still. I don't know. I'll go look for him.
I don't know. I haven't heard from him since this morning.
Oh, okay.
It's actually interesting that you're here. Alandi had actually given me a note that he wanted to pass on to you. I don't know what this is about, but
to me. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll thank you.
He said just if you happen to come by at some point.
Oh, okay. And this was this morning?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll take the note. And thank you. And I'll give him a fist bump.
Yeah, he fist bumps you back.
Hell yeah. Carveth says that.
All right. Yeah, hell yeah. I'll talk to you later. Yeah. And he closes the door. Alandi, do you want to say what the note says? Yeah. Lots of notes in this
Carveth's
season.
getting all the notes right now. Is this Valentine's Day?
So on top, it says super secret, burn after reading. Carveth.
Good movie.
And then whenever you open it up, I actually want to do it in Alandi's voice because it's more fun.
Yeah, yes. Go ahead.
So, Carveth, something's not adding up with the mayor. I've been trying to be on his side this whole time to help us stay safe, and he's just not adding up. I need you to steer clear of me and of him, but I'm too close to him now. I need you to investigate the mayor. And this is important. Don't tell Bon. He wants revenge too bad. If he gets involved, it's gonna get him killed. And I know that. Don't forget to destroy this.
Do I have any fire shit? I don't know.
You probably got stuff in a camper's...
I think you have prestidigitation, actually.
I don't. I super don't.
I thought you do as part of your
no,
Wave Shadow.
I have thaumaturgy.
Maybe. Well, that's anyway. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You can produce flame. You're
he eats the paper.
Carveth just eats the paper.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So Carveth reads the note and he's like, "The fuck? I mean, I watched the mayor. I've already been doing that. What the fuck? Okay. And then he eats the paper.
Hell yeah.
Cool. I think Carveth's still gonna try to find Alandi anyway.
Okay. So you Carveth walks off and heads off to try to find Alandi. We're gonna jump over to Rankin in Alandi's garage, and he walks back to Alandi's room or Alandi's office rather, and Alandi's sitting there at his desk.
Oh, you motherfucker.
And he says, Alandi, I don't... What's going on? Things are you and your other brother enemies now too? What's...
this place, one of us is going to die.
Like me or you, or
no, I
don't want to die, Alandi.
Not you. You're gonna be fine. My two brothers are too capable for their own good. They're more capable than I am. And if I don't push them as far away from this problem, one of them is going to get a little too rambunctious, get a little bit too close, and get killed.
Well, I see your point. Obviously, I feel like I would do the same for my brothers. And he kind of looks back through the bay window at Toodlin and Scrawn working on something. And he says, but I and I'm sorry if I'm overstepping my bound, but I also know that I don't know how long I would make it without them. I guess all I'm trying to say is maybe don't take for granted your own capabilities.
I think that's...
I don't want to see you get hurt either.
I think that's where we are of two minds. I don't plan on making it.
All right. Okay. And I think he walks off because I don't think he knows how to handle that.
Alandi goes back to whenever he walked in and the whole time they were talking, he's playing with that folded up note in his, like, between his fingers, like you do the pin thing where you're like shifting it between knuckles. He's just sitting there playing with it. Still perfectly unopened, like just fidgeting with it.
Bon. So let's jump to. I don't want time to be as strict right now because we're kind of we're almost like filling in gaps at this moment,
right,
of what's been going on and what's been in development. So let's what is. So we're at this moment we're about to have you meet up with Carveth again. So what were you prepping or doing or whatever before you and Carveth would go meet up?
I think,
or did you have a specific scene you wanted to play?
Oh no, I think
let me know.
I think this could be a cool, short, simple thing and kind of be like a set to things. I think it's just silent. You hear like the dripping of water in the sewer home, and it's just a shot of the cot and sort of the back of a figure cast in shadow with like a dangle light hastily set up. Skin tight, black leather, sort of like, I don't know what those suits that they wore as the flight suits are made out of, but I assume it's some sort of leather or denim-y vibes.
Like the flying squirrel kind of suits?
Yeah, well, like he stole one of Finn's flight suits in all the chaos and just repurposed it with like a bit of like leather patchwork and like whatever
like
that material is.
Black?
Yes.
Or...
Yeah, he would like just collect soot from like little campfire stuff from cooking and like soak that for a long time.
I think we handled it last episode. We talked about where you could get fabric dyes.
Oh, yeah, we did. Oh, great. Even better. He didn't make his own pigments because I don't know the first thing about that. he got some black dye and he's dyed it this sleek black with like these silver trim. But you see it sort of pulled up, but like just to the waistline and setting across at this like sort of makeshift table is a helmet, and the helmet is crafted from a also recycled older model of one of those robots that's running around, and it's now got like a cool little sort of like goggly visor set up, like think Power Rangers but without the mouth mask being like a weird porcelain permanent like model face.
Terrifying.
You know? And that is cut out and exposed, and you see he is futzing with an ascot. And you see a bunch of crumpled up papers and a stack of fresh normal papers. And at the top of one of these sheets, it says, "Dear Gareth," with nothing else written and kind of a haphazardly thrown to the side pen or pencil. I don't fucking know what he would choose to. I feel like he'd do pen. Not a quill. I don't want to go that fucking ridiculous with it, but he kind of sits at this stool and you see him kind of looking down at his hands that are also in like this, like, it's like basically like a jumpsuit. So it's like partially on, but just kind of exposed. And he's just nervously kind of looking off into the middle distance. And then we cut to the bar.
All right. We cut to the barn.
And this is presumably, this is presumably after things that have yet to happen. And I don't know, were you waiting in the barn? Would you have been waiting there?
I guess if I like didn't find Alandi, then I would probably eventually go back there because I know you said you wanted to meet up.
Yeah, I think he showed, like, I think when I show up, I'm like a bit sweaty, a bit nervous. Like, it seems like I was jogging or working out or something. I don't know. Mm-hmm. And he's just sort of, "Hey, sorry, I didn't mean to run out after such a heavy."
Oh no, you're good. I loved your poem. It was beautiful.
Thank you.
I've never been one for the literary arts. I'm more of a spiritual, on the inside. I can't really put, this to paper.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not trying to be distant. A lot on my mind, man. A lot on my mind.
Yeah. Do you want to get a drink? You want to sit? You looked a little sweaty. You need some water. You need to stay hydrated.
Yes, water. Yes, no alcohol.
Oh, okay. Yep. Absolutely. And I'll go grab us some waters and we can head to a booth.
Are Finn and Tor, any of them there?
Yeah, I think so.
Because this would have happened.
Would they have been involved in whatever's happening right now or no?
I don't know that.
I'll leave it up.
I don't know what your intention is with this meeting. I mean,
I think he would just be kind of getting people together at this point.
Okay,
to kind of
yes. Okay.
Finally have an actual heart to heart, whatever going on about trying his, Yeah,
I think Finn, Tor, Owen, I think they're all there.
Listen, I know we've only been here for maybe a month or so, a few months, what God knows. But space also, God knows. And I'm trying to play by the rules, or at least I tried. I tried to stick my neck out for you guys and to speak on some of the things you've told us you've had problems with, some of the things that any sane person would have a problem with. And I was met with anger and dismissal and silence. But they do an awful lot of talking every time they get us together for one of their they're calling them parties now. Have any of you had fun? I mean, I get the drinking one. That don't answer that one. But aside from the time they made alcohol for real for free for a long time and kind of made things really weird and crazy, are any of you having fun drifting aimlessly?
I mean, I'm not.
I think they all kind of either shake their head or look.
Have any of you heard any plans from any of these people? These people, so-called figures in charge of these different committees and these different bullshit systems that don't really fit when you're floating through space. Who do we report to if things go wrong? If they don't know what they're doing and we don't know why we're here, it's like they're letting things fall into chaos. It's like they want us to freak out and lean on their weird parties and their weird distractions. And I don't think that that is fair. And I don't think that's right. And I didn't live here. I didn't grow up here like many of you may have. This has been happening for generations. Just dickhead after dickhead. Not really solving a problem, but just moving the problem further into the sky and further into the sky. And now look, there's no more sky. It's artificial shit, I guess, but they need to listen to you.
So what are you suggesting, Bon?
We make them listen.
I think yes, precisely. You need to make them listen. Make your voices heard. If they won't listen to me, someone that they call a so-called member of this inner circle, they'll have to listen to the people who they so-called want trust put into. And I think, I can't speak on this, but I think soon enough they'll have a message that they can't ignore. And I'm here to help no matter what. I want to go back to some sense of normalcy and some sense of, I'll be honest, I just want to go home. But I also want you all to be able to go home.
I'll be honest, Finn speaks up. I know the idea of home isn't so, solid a term as you might think, because technically speaking, this is our home.
Right.
But I agree. And I think at this point, I think I have got your back pretty much no matter what.
I know many of you haven't seen the world outside of this place you call home. But I don't think it takes someone in charge or a scientist or an arcanist of ill repute to tell you there's a timer on how much food, how much clean water, where are they getting it from? If they, they haven't talked about these crucial elements. They haven't talked about what happens when these things run out, when the alcohol that they decided to give away free stops running and stops making people so happy and complacent. They need to give us a concrete answer as to what they plan to do if they want us to feel safe and comfortable here. And I don't think that that's what they want. I think whatever their agenda is far beyond what they are willing to tell us. But I will make them listen to us. We will make them listen to us.
I don't know if this is a little early for this kind of talk, but if they don't listen, we might have to take actions into our own hands. If you think about it, and I know everyone in this room, I don't think that we have to debate on whose side we're on, but if you think about it, your freedom has been taken from you from the moment you were born. You've been forced to live on this floating city. It's a pretty good city, I'm not going to lie. My flat's pretty fucking cool, but it's all about choice. We don't have a choice here. We can't go anywhere. And you've never been able to go anywhere.
I'm not
Finn,
expecting...
You've been able to explore, but...
Yes. And I'm not expecting any of you guys to be able to cast magical spells and fight like a warrior or anything. Hell, we've only... It feels like just yesterday begun doing what we do, but there's other ways, and there's, within means, ways you can take action.
So something that's never been mentioned, but is worth mentioning. there are magic users in.
Yeah, no, I don't want to assume everybody is like an adventurer.
I realized the other day that's never been, not necessarily adventurers, but there are people who are able to cast use magic and stuff.
I will say this might just be an assumption Alandi and I have made, and I didn't even realize it was an assumption until Bond kind of questioned it. But I assumed this place was already fully like self-sustaining, considering it's been like floating in a tornado desert for
but they sent the people out, so I assumed there might be like any reason for them to have gone out to get resources, not necessarily trade. But like,
to be clear, that was an excellent point. I didn't think about the fact that they did have those ships going out of the city, so it's possible they were semi-reliant on the land. Alandi was assuming that it was like fully sustainable. Whether or not it is or not,
I
like
that.
A very good
I like
question.
That theory. Yeah, no, I like that.
It didn't even occur to me that could be the case. And as soon as you said that, I was like, I guess we don't definitely know.
Like, he doesn't want to stir the pot in the way of like trying to be doom and gloom, but he wants people to understand this could go bad quick with them not having a plan. And he straight up told them they don't have a plan. So I think it's up to, I think in that moment he just kind of like, fuck it. And he puts one of those fucking last fucking shit ass Barney tokens down. I would like 1 beer, please. We have to do a proper toast, and I'm not toasting with water.
Turn to alcoholism.
Carveth just grabs the coin, looks at it, and just like looks at Bonds like, "Why do you have this?"
I just never spent mine. Alandi bought all our stuff with his, and I.
Oh, that's
and I bogarted the mini fridge every time we came back, and I have a jug that makes things. But just, I want to support the business, and like this is the only currency in existence on this. You know what? It's more symbolic than me wanting. I don't want to spend his money, but like whatever. Anyway, listen. This is less about my necessity and need to get back to where I'm from, but this is for you all to truly have freedom outside of these walls, beyond the vacuum of space. You need to have the choice to have wanted to go to space in the first place. I think that says a lot about him, regardless of his kind demeanor. So to you guys, and to getting home.
To us.
And I think everyone happily cheerses, if you will say that. I think that it's kind of like it's happy, but it's a little somber, because I think everyone in the room is able to recognize the dark future ahead of all of you by agreeing to this.
Could I ask you, the DM, if I could ask Matt to make a perception check or an
perception or insight?
Go for it.
No,
that's
not
like
insight.
3 layers. I'm so confused.
Not insight. Either perception or like an investigation check. One of the two, as the cheers is happening.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh god, so bad. Perception or investigation?
Yeah, either one. Not to bogart your powers, DM. 5? Yeah, no, you're good.
Okay.
You're just so proud in that moment of like all of us kind of coming together, I feel like.
Carveth has a single tear.
Yeah. So as I've said, and this is for the audience, I know y'all know this. Time's going to be a little fluid moving forward in the next few episodes, as it has been so far this season. I think that we see over the next couple weeks, well, let me actually say this. We have already heard that some people throughout town have attempted to fight back against the police, or I think Barnabas even mentioned the word vigilante.
Yes.
But I think that you learn pretty quickly over the next few weeks that there are a lot of people willing to stand up and join your resistance. If it, as cliche as it is, I think there are a lot of people in town willing to and wanting to. I don't think that like suddenly there's thousands of people. You know, I do still think it, at least at the moment, is somewhat smaller, but there is a lot of people willing to stand up. And I think that what we see over the next couple weeks, and we will see a lot of this happen in the future recordings or of this one even potentially. I think what we see is a lot of people. So I think as we've already seen, Barnabas is his hand is, whether justified or not, his hand is somewhat being forced to increase his force to combat these people fighting back. And I think because of that, we're seeing a lot of people in this resistance don some sorts of disguise, some sorts of costumes, if you will, as we begin to see a number of vigilantes come out as either as part of this resistance or just individually.
They're villains
because
now.
Even aside from this resistance, there are people who there's always people who want to take advantage
Space
of
Gotham.
Dire situations, and I think that Duradera is beginning to sort of divulge into. I don't think Gotham's a terrible comparison. No,
that's literally what I'm picturing, because it's like this big industrious city, and now there's costume lunatics running around while the police force is just ever growing, like the literal machines that they are. It's fucking scary. Scary times. Spooky, scary times.
Dibs on Nightwing.
Oh my god, I don't you worry.
Alandi, what did you want to do? I mean, I know I'm being facetious, but go ahead.
Well, there's he wanted to go and talk to the scientist that was at the meeting, because I think if I remember correctly, Janelle is like kind of the person who is a big in charge of like the robots manufacturing, and possibly also like presumably like she's in charge of how the ships fly stuff. So Alandi is focused, especially with the increase in vigilantes. I kind of imagined he would become the human face of the anti-vigilante force. But
Elven face.
Yeah, that's fair.
True.
The non-robot face. But he would basically want to work with her to get a good understanding of how to maximize.
He's gonna become RoboCop.
Using that, I don't want Alandi to become RoboCop. This is important.
I want you to try to sell that to her. So here's what we'll do. We'll back up time-wise a little bit. Let's say you had mentioned after the press conference that you wanted to talk to Janelle and kind of try to sort of buddy with her. So let's play. I think we'll play a couple scenes. Let's start with you coming to her. Like, she knows who you are, obviously, but your introduction to her / introducing what you want from her.
Miss Janelle, you got a second? Or Dr. Janelle? I don't understand how smart people work. Do you got a title? Or?
I believe that Miss Doctor, any of it's fine. I think we don't really do titles super strictly here. I don't.
Oh, can I just call you Janelle? I'm way more comfortable with that.
Janelle's fine. That's okay. Yeah, Janelle. I'd actually prefer it, honestly, but I didn't want to be rude.
Oh, listen, no, that's so.
I should say, I think you come to her in her office. She has an office in Town Square as well.
Yeah. Presumably not in town, but like in one of the buildings around Town Square. She doesn't just have a fucking desk.
I meant to say Town Hall. I meant to say Town Hall.
Makes way more sense.
She lives underneath one of the statues in Town Square.
She too lives in the sewers.
She's got a statue sewer home.
So I figured you're probably expecting a visit from me after the meeting, but I wanted to ask you, Bonnie needs help. He can't. He's
telling me.
He's trying to get things running smooth while people are tearing things apart. And I would like to help him stop tearing things apart. And I really do think, like I said in the meeting, I think you're going to be a big part of that. I think, to be clear, I've never gone to a day of school in my life. I hate libraries. I can't provide any knowledge in that, but I can provide tactics for effective use of them robots. But all they do is listen to Bonnie, which is totally fair. I don't know how any of that works. I was just wondering, would you be able to help me kind of keep things in order while we figure out how to stop everything from falling apart?
Interesting. Obviously, I'll have to consult my boss, which I guess that's just Barney. But yeah, I'll have to consult Barney to double check that. Bjorn and I run a pretty tight ship, but I mean, you're not wrong. I don't have any sort of delusions that things aren't rough right now. And I also will not pretend that, I don't play a part in how rough things are now. So, that's probably not a terrible idea, but I mean, I'm sure you understand. I will definitely have to consult Barnabas.
Well, honestly,
probably run a background check on you just to make sure, I don't know how that works since you're not from here, but
I'm shady as fuck. Barney already knows that. me and him.
Well, I didn't want to assume it might have come off as racist. I didn't want
I am very much so like a reformed convict at best. Like that's the most positive light spin you could put on it. But
all right. Not doing a great job of selling yourself here.
Listen, well, first of all, I think we both know I'm not necessarily trying to sell myself to you. I wanted to talk about this at the meeting, but all the kind of stuff fell apart. But yeah, I've been trying to help Bonnie out. And this is kind of what I was trying to do this a little bit, but at this point I was, make it official, so to speak,
Yeah.
But
I think that she is willing to at least hear you out, and the two of you kind of have a handful of meetings over the next week or so.
Yeah.
I want you to tell us, being the three of us and the audience, what you are wanting to accomplish here.
So, the way he's seeing it right now is, she's going to know, first of all, she's going to, either her or her partner is going to have played a role in getting us into space, which means the best chance of my little hoodlums fixing that craft, and by extension, other crafts, to where we can have flight again. He wants to learn is a strong word. He wants to try to get his best understanding and then just ask her, like, if it's possible to shrink it, and like if she can work with the boys to try to kind of get something working there. But then also he's like, he wants to get a better understanding of like, what is so supply is not meeting demand on the robots. What is the holdup? What's the limitation? And like get a better understanding of like how the robots are getting produced, like what happens to the broken robots. Yeah. Just so because he doesn't want to rely on these things without having a good picture of how they work. But she's having to explain everything to him like he's a 5-year-old because doesn't read books.
So there's a lot there, obviously. What I will say.
Yeah, that's why I was like, this is happening over the course of weeks.
Yes, this is happening over the course of weeks. Absolutely. I think that early on in your relationship with Janelle, she is more hesitant to talk about the robot police with you, the guard. But while you were getting to know her, and while she's getting to know you and try to get a read on you, I think she is mostly open to discussing the planes and the mechanisms through which the city flies, as far as she knows. I think that she kind of let's jump a little further ahead, a few days, maybe a week. You and Janelle have actually spent a lot of time together over this week or so. You've been on your best behavior, if you will, to try to convince her that she can trust in you and confide in you. And you're walking through the town hall, and or no, not through town hall. Let's say you're walking through the.
Why not be at the garage?
Let's call it the barracks.
Okay.
Where they hold the robot police. And here is where they also have. This isn't where they're constructed, as far as you can tell.
Yeah.
But this is where like light maintenance is done. This is where various things like that they keep. This is. I mean, robots don't need to rest.
Well, they could recharge, depending.
Yeah, like those sorts of things.
Maintenance.
Yeah, maintenance. She has another office here. Y'all are kind of walking through, and you why don't you prompt a question? Y'all have talked a little bit about the planes that no longer work, and she's like mentioned like some knowledge about how the city flies. Why don't you ask her something?
Yeah. So I'm hoping this isn't the case, but this isn't the only barracks, right? Like there are others around the city, presumably.
Yeah, there's another one there's actually one on each level, because there's the discs that are on varying levels. She says there's one on every level. This is the largest one. This is the main hub. But there's one on every level, and this being the main level, the largest part of the city. There's actually another smaller one on the opposite end of this level as well.
I'm just making sure because, as you probably have noticed, vigilantes have gone up. I feel like this barracks probably a little bit fuller than it normally is. A lot more maintenance needing to be done. I mean, you can tell me if that's wrong. That's just the read of the city I have.
Oh no, no, you hit the nail on the head. And it's very clear. Like all around you, there is tons of people working. There is robots working on other robots. There's people working on robots. There is like the place is busy as ever. I mean, not that you've spent a ton of time here, but
So I get your secrecy on a lot of this, and I really do appreciate you opening up as much as you have. But like, is there any particular reason that like you haven't kind of talked to me a little bit about like the production holdup? Like, I still don't know anything about how these things are produced, why they only listen.
The best I can give you at this moment, I hope you don't take offense to this. I don't quite know how much I can trust you just yet.
No, that's 100% fair.
There's various levels of clearance and like, I mean, as you've said, given the state of everything with the vigilantes and a growing sort of distrust and disdain for the government, I have no reason to believe that you're a part of all of this, but
I completely
I need to keep some things rather close to my chest, and I would imagine that would be a point of interest for those people, if you will.
No, I agree with that. So here, let me ask then kind of a more specific question, and I don't think this is something where it could be used nefariously, but if you think it is, you don't have to answer. What's the holdup? So like it seems like production really hasn't been changing. So I have to imagine, like, I don't know much about like how assembly lines and robots or any of that stuff works, but like usually like there has to be something that's like you're not able to increase. Is that something I can help with?
Let's just say, and you can tell that she's kind of trying to pick her words very carefully, to try to like avoid saying certain things, because she doesn't obviously she doesn't know you super well. She says, let's just say production of the Royal Guard used to be a little easier than it is now for classified reasons.
If you're talking about the cool relic that got stolen, I already know about that. Bonnie already told me about that. I kind of assumed that was that above my clearance level? Because that was something like he was super open.
I honestly wasn't sure personally. So okay, and you can tell her demeanor changes pretty quickly. Without the congruence, it's been significantly more difficult to produce these at the rate we were, and to upkeep them at the rate we were. I don't know how much you know about this artifact, but
what I was told and what I understood are very different levels. So assume I forgot everything.
She chuckles. She chuckles at that and says, the congruence essentially acted somewhat like a magnifying glass on your magical abilities. And that might not be the best way to describe it, but that's my understanding of it. Essentially, it amplified our own abilities as they already were.
Got it.
So doing things such as creating these constructs and giving them some sort of sentience or what have you, normally, what normally might take us a week or a month, when we had the congruence, might only take us a day or two. So that's essentially where we're struggling.
Are there like individual? What's the people who like build stuff but with magic? It's like
artificers.
Yeah, that's the artificer. So like, if there's, does that mean like it's a bunch of artificers making the different robot? Because if so, now I'm even more confused. Hold on, I'm sorry. I might be getting into questions you don't feel comfortable answering, so I apologize. If they're made by a bunch of different artificers, like, how do they all listen to Bonnie? Like, shouldn't they like listen to whoever made them?
It's essentially, it's ingrained in their programming, kind of like, do we know what DNA is? I'm going to say yeah.
Sure.
It's kind of like, have you ever heard of DNA?
Absolutely not a day of school. I feel like you...
No, you're right. I'm sorry.
You're right.
Basically, you know how like your mother probably passed down traits to you, like eye color, or do you know what I mean by that?
Thanks.
Like,
no, my mom Faye didn't. I don't look anything like my mom Faye. So.
Well, so.
Oh, you mean like my mom?
Yes.
Oh, okay. No, that makes sense. She's probably a dark elf, I think.
So
what my dad is? No, she's a person because she's from here. I still don't have a good understanding. If I'm honest.
Yes, that's right. Your mother is from. Sorry, this whole past few months has been Well, I don't have to tell you. A nightmare. Yeah, so essentially, kind of like things are passed down genetically from a parent to a child. When we have
kind of like how Bond knows how to play the guitar he's got after Dad taught him. Kind of like that.
Yeah, that works, and I think that she's kind of just like, yeah, good enough.
Good enough.
Like
now, Bond has to get a guitar. That's his like final instrument is a guitar.
Bond sneezes.
Bond sneezes.
Oh yeah, I forgot our
Bond's guitar sneezes.
Yeah, my sitar just bang.
Your sitar,
like a string pops on my sitar.
Yeah, she basically gets across that it's essentially like a programming thing, more or less. It's more magical than that, not like
to be clear. I, as a person,
it's like an attunement kind of thing. I guess
didn't.
Yes. It's more like an attunement kind of thing, kind of. Yeah. It's less specific than that because I'm bullshitting it all.
Right.
But I mean, I know what I have in mind. I just mean like it's all,
explaining without like giving us the gritty details.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how much more I should say.
No, that kind of so what is that? So it's not like a lack of material. So we need more artifices?
It's not that we need more. Like, are you able to cast any spells?
Absolutely
or the
not.
Like?
No.
So it takes time or materials to cast certain spells, and without something like the congruence, it takes a lot of effort to cast such a powerful spell as to give life.
So is this, hold on. Then does that mean this whole thing is just a slowly decaying? Because it sounds like you're telling me that supply can't meet demand, and so we're just gonna have fewer and fewer robots until you guys we don't have any, and just the vigilantes win and we're done. Because if that's what you're telling me, that's not ideal.
That's a pretty negative way to look at it, but we have all of our best people working to try to figure out how to make that not happen, is what I will tell you.
Well, then...
Because ultimately my answer is I don't know.
No, that's fair.
This is unprecedented times we're in right now.
And all I'll say is if an ex-criminal currently acting as a pseudo-sheriff can help, I'll do my best.
Well, I appreciate that, Alandi. And she gives you a pat on the shoulder and goes about the rest of her business. The alley behind the barn is full of fog this evening. The sun is nearly setting, and a figure, a shadow, can be seen through the fog. The people on the street notice this and go off running in every direction, as life in Duradera right now is full of uncertainty. Perhaps one individual could help bring certainty back to Duradera. Next time.
All right, everybody try to say something cool.
Spaghetti.
There it is.
I want an apple pie from McDonald's.